The Oklahoma-Ohio State flag-planting feud has quickly become the hottest back and forth in the NFL. Not since the TO Star game have we seen such a great back and forth of revenge celebrations. Alright, so nothing comes close to Terrell Owens celebrating on the Cowboy Star, then Emmitt Smith doing it in return, and then TO doing it again and getting hit by Teague. The big difference is that all that happened in one game, and the flag feud has taken multiple years to develop. So allow me to give you the complete history of the Oklahoma Sooners and Ohio State Buckeyes flag-planting rivalry. Now, nobody copyright claims videos quicker than college conferences, so I won't be showing any game footage, but this whole thing started back in 2017. 5th-ranked Oklahoma headed into Ohio to face the 2nd-ranked Buckeyes and came away with a huge 31-16 upset victory. At the end of the game, and after all the Ohio State players had left the field to return to their locker room, Baker Mayfield decided to take an Oklahoma Sooners flag for a tour of the stadium before taking it to the center of the field and planting it right in the middle of the O. And needless to say, a lot of people disagreed with Mayfield's decision, and we all missed out on some great television because the Ohio State players knew nothing about it until afterwards. The only criticism I have of the whole thing is that this was the final game of Oklahoma's home-and-home series against Ohio State, so a rematch wouldn't happen for another 30 years or so. But that's also the reason that this carried on into the NFL. Nick Bosa, who was on that 2017 Buckeyes team, had to wait until his first year in the NFL to get a shot at revenge against Baker Mayfield. So when the 49ers met the Browns on Monday night in Week 5, the stage was set and Nick Bosa had a game to remember. 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 5 quarterback hits. And just before the end of the first half, on a play where Mayfield was flagged for intentional grounding which prevented Bosa from sacking him, Nick Bosa celebrated by planting an imaginary flag in the ground, and he doubled down at the end of the game, this time with an actual 49ers flag. Nick Bosa and the 49ers won that game 31-3, a little more dominant than Mayfield's 31-16 win 2 years ago. But wait, I said we'd cover the entire history, and before Nick Bosa got some long-awaited revenge for Ohio State, another state college stepped in. Just 3 weeks after the upset win over Ohio State, Oklahoma themselves were upset by conference rival Iowa State, who beat them 38-31 in their own house. After the game, Iowa State DB Everett Edwards planted a flag in the middle of the field. A healthy serving of karma for the Sooners? Sure, but overall a little disappointing. Plenty of Oklahoma players were around and didn't seem to care at all, and the flag itself was pretty disappointing. So now we're all caught up. Back in the NFL, Nick Bosa has planted the flag against Mayfield and revenge has been served. Now I've got to say, I was disappointed with Mayfield's response to this.
He's been thinking about that obviously for 2 years now. That's a long time to think about that loss.
Trying to belittle him is the easy way out. This was Bosa's first chance at revenge. The 16-17 home-and-home series was the first time the two teams had played since 1983. 33 years. The very next chance Bosa got, he buried him in the ground and got revenge. But that's not the end of the story. 8 weeks after Bosa's planting of the flag, the 49ers and Ravens faced off in a game that might end up being better than the Super Bowl. In that game, Ravens tight end Mark Andrews, a member of that 2017 Oklahoma team, scored a touchdown and celebrated by, you guessed it, planting an imaginary flag in the end zone. And with that, what might have been just a one-time thing became a full-blown back and forth between Sooners and Buckeyes. Andrews' touchdown only tied the game, but the Ravens did go on to win, and if they hadn't, maybe it could have been a problem for fueling the fires of the flag feud. But now, we can only expect more of this to happen. Bosa's former teammates can't leave him hanging after Mark Andrews replied for Baker Mayfield and the rest of the 2017 Oklahoma Sooners. And with a lack of rivalry in the NFL currently and far too much jersey swapping taking place, we can only hope that the flag feud adds some much needed spice to coming matchups involving Ohio State and Oklahoma players. And with 19 players from those 2017 rosters currently in the NFL, there's plenty of chances they'll cross paths, with 8 Sooners and 11 Buckeyes getting regular playing time on NFL rosters. There's actually a few more players on rosters right now that don't get much playing time, and there's a bunch of guys who could be in the NFL in the future too. Of course, now to follow precedent, an Ohio State player would have to plant the flag against the Ravens to keep keep the chain going, and there is technically a chance of that happening as a Pro Bowl former Buckeye plays against the Ravens in Week 16. Unfortunately, that player is Denzel Ward, and I don't know if he would do that considering Mayfield is his current teammate on the Browns. So all eyes shift to Sam Hubbard and the Bengals, who play the Browns twice before the season ends. Following the game against the Browns, Bosa mentioned talking to Hubbard about the celebration, and Hubbard was already planning to do the same thing. Now the stakes have been raised. The problem is that Hubbard plays for the Bengals, but he does have 5 sacks on the season, 1 in each of the last 2 games, and the Browns' offensive line isn't the strongest. If Hubbard sacks Mayfield and pulls out the flag planting celebration, we'll officially have a full-blown feud on our hands.